Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Now today is basically just going to be a roughly talking video. Don't expect really much from this. It's going to be a really simple video. But if you're down to listen to me to talk about FIFA, then this is your video for you today. Starting off, what I'm going to be talking about today is the Ultimate Team of the Season. Currently, my experience with it so far has been very kind of 50-50. So I think I've got a roughly good intake of what I would recommend and probably what I would look at when doing the Ultimate Team. If you're new or if you're just starting, um, like obviously I'm probably not got the best, obviously, opinion of all time, but I don't know. Roughly down to you. So thus far, I've played about like 4 weekends, and I've only recorded 2 weekends, unfortunately. I didn't record the other first two, which I normally do. I normally do record them, but I didn't, and I'm a bit annoyed that I didn't, because I generally thought I think I had like other good weekends, but I can't remember the weekend. So starting off, I want to talk about last weekend. Last weekend, I had more of a Bundesliga French team, um, and it really did kind of not that. It was 50-50. It got to 51 points, I believe. Um, and then I normally get to 51 points, which is 11 wins, and then that's it. I kind of don't really bother with the rest of FIFA. But last week, I got Koulibaly up top, and then next one was Payet, next one was Gnabry, Bruno Guimaraes, Guerrero, Casemiro, Klaus, Ake, Lebrox, Schlotterbeck, Edison, and then the bench players I had that I brought on was Sane, Rivaldo, Kane, Shevchenko, Ramsey, and then Frimpong because I switched up my team halfway through. But that weekend, I remember it very much because it was a very instead of a positive weekend, it was a very negative weekend. I felt like the gameplay was just not on my side, but I also felt like the formation, the way we were going forward, the way we were going back, didn't work either. There were certain things that I just did not like, and I was really kind of like just not having a good time. I was really kind of struggling, and really kind of lost for like ideas. So going back to like the Prem side, going through that, making sure I was getting goals that way, it was somewhat working. But I think because of bringing Sane back on, it started to work. As for Kolo Muani, he got 22 goals and 7 assists. That's throughout the whole weekend, and Payet got 4 and 5, which is normally it was my starting left winger, so that was not great. Gnabry got 18 and 7 last weekend. Bruno Guimaraes got 1 goal and 11 assists. Guerrero got 4 goals and 10 assists. Klaus got 2 assists, and Lebrox got 1 goal. Edison got 3 clean sheets. Sane got 6 goals, 1 assist. Rivaldo got 8 goals, 5 assists. Kane got 2 goals, 3 assists, and Shevchenko got 3 assists. Ramsdale got 2 clean sheets, and Frimpong got 3 assists. And that was last weekend. And I genuinely thought like the rewards last weekend um, didn't fit the bill for what I got. But I'm to be fair, last weekend obviously would have been the League One, and I got Cabela and Todibo, which isn't like the greatest. Obviously, this weekend I got so much more better, and it was unbelievable how much more better I got this week compared to last weekend. Um, but rewards last weekend, I felt were really crap. I kept packing the same players over and over again. I packed like Cabela twice, untradeable, so I had to use him, and I got him through. I got enough players to do Kimpembe. I got enough players to even do Thierry Henry, even Gnabry. When his card came out and I was using Bundesliga, I was going through so many Bundesliga players, and I just kept getting the same players over and over and over again. And I think the only player that is tradable in my team at the very moment is legit Kimmich, and that is it. Every single other player is first owned, and I wouldn't surprise. It doesn't surprise me with the legit packs I was getting. Um, but for this weekend, it was a lot more better, but it was a lot more. um, annoying. A lot of games that I was playing were very just crap. Like, it was the same for last weekend as well. The one thing that really gets me triggered is when players start doing things that just doesn't make sense. So for last weekend, I played the 4-3-3 with the CDM. This weekend, I played the 4-3-3 with a cam because I was actually finding a lot more success with a cam in the middle playing about instead of a CDM, which left obviously a gap behind the cam. Um, but I was able to find that gap to be filled by either Kimmich or Xabi Alonso, or by Cabela himself sometimes, and it kind of worked. It worked in very much ways I was like very happy that it did that. Um, but for this weekend, it was goals galore. And I really do mean that. Goals were going in left, right, and centre. So starting off from the top from Leroy Sané, he got 14 goals, 8 assists. Thierry Henry got 32 goals and 13 assists. Gnabry got 14 goals and 15 assists. And Cabela got 17 goals and 20 assists. Kimmich got 2 goals and 4 assists. And Xabi Alonso got 5 assists. Guerrero got 4 assists. And Kimpembe got a goal. Klaus got a goal and 2 assists, and Sambia, my main goalkeeper, got 6 clean sheets, while Harry Kane got 4 goals and 1 assist, and Payet got a goal and assists. So basically, yeah, those are roughly the stats of everyone I got stats with, and that got everything together. But players I was mainly bringing on were players like Frimpong, Caicedo for his, well, overall defensive unit. Dribbling was decent. His pace as well. Every time I need to upgrade the pace in the midfield, I do put Caicedo on. But the problem I face at times is his passing. His passing, fair enough, it's 92 short passing, but it's a long passing that seems to let him down a bit. And he hasn't really got any player stats at all. But I was finding a lot of problems with passing when I brought him on, but I was hoping to get Kimmich on. So, like, keeping Kimmich on was kind of like the way. So when Xabi comes off and Caicedo's on, I'm always trying to find Kimmich to pass the ball around so that we can actually then start the attack, because his passing's not that great. But when it's Xabi and Kimmich is on, that's when the passing really can go both ways and it just flies up the pitch. The passing I found, which I'm very tempted to try and find, is a tall player that has passing like Pogba or obviously Xabi Alonso, or like Guerrero. Guerrero in the midfield was an absolute beast, but the problem is I don't have a left back at all. Like, I just don't have a left back. Simply answered there and there. I don't have a left back to really fill in that spot, so it was very difficult to try and find one. And I found that with defending as well on this game, players like Kimmich got the ball really, really well, but players like Guerrero was struggling to get on the ball because he's smaller. So I felt like when playing in the system, I needed at least a tall player. That I needed at least somebody that's 6 foot who can put a leg in and possibly do more. I'm hoping to find somebody like Paul Pogba or Caicedo. Caicedo's fair enough, like 5'10". Paul Pogba, though, is 6'3", and I did like the way he was defending a little bit when I needed to put him on, because, well, he's tall. He's really, really tall, and that 3 extra inches just helped out a lot. I just wish he had more defending. I wish his card overall was boosted, where instead of its 81 pace, he's got like 90 pace, but that's another universe altogether. Other than that, though, I thought certain things I wanted, like I was looking at when I was going against oppositions, was how they were playing, and I stuck with the 4-3-3. I really stuck with it. I never changed it at all. The main reason was getting Cabela and Gnabry and Sané on the ball mainly, and playing it about between them three. And sometimes, obviously, Thierry Henry, of course, Thierry Henry getting 13 assists and everything. Thierry Henry would get on the ball really, really easily. But I wanted to mainly focus on getting them on the ball. So the instructions they have is to cut inside and get in behind. And Cabela is literally get into the box. So they were running in the box, and Sané and Gnabry were cutting in to actually help Cabela do that. Plus, Thierry Henry getting in behind. It is literally four people. It's like playing with the 4-2-4, but with a cam instead of a second striker. And it worked. It really did work. The problems I faced was Cabela was weak, very weak. People were able to just jump on him and push him off the ball. And the only way I could have avoided that sometimes was by putting Cabela on the wing, either for Sané or Gnabry, because they're a little bit stronger. But most of the times it depended on how the game felt. When the game felt really, really pure and really, really nice, Cabela was good on the ball. Like, he is probably one of the best dribblers I've found recently on the ball, and it shows with his 96 dribbling. And I didn't have to put anything on his actual dribbling at all. It just felt fantastic. The only thing I did put on him was obviously a hawk to get his pace up and all that stuff. But to be fair, it worked. Like, the main thing was to get his pace up, his shooting up, and also a bit of strength up just to keep him going. And it worked. But I think for the future, for what I might try and look into, is maybe putting Sané in the middle and look for somebody who is maybe put Thierry Henry on the left and maybe Martinez up front. That's what I'm kind of looking at. The thing is, though, it would be chemistry and how I would link all these players together with the lack of chemistry. Would probably mean taking Thierry Henry out for Martinez and then putting Martinez up front and looking at maybe putting Di Maria on the left, or the right. But I think it's mainly probably going to be in cam because that's the only place it can go. So Di Maria in middle would work really, really well. And with obviously his card being 5-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot, great overall player. He's fantastic. Everything you need from a cam probably work. So with that, probably need another player that can go in here and sort it all out, because I don't actually have another French player. I wish I had the left back. I think the left back would have been absolutely sorted. And this, I think, from PSG, I think if I got him, I'd be laughing. And then I could focus on potentially getting Schlotterbeck out and then focusing on the Serie A side, because the Serie A side is actually not half bad. And would probably definitely work for the next weekend, which will probably do the same system, just instead of with just Bundesliga and Liga 1, I might try and get the other players involved as well. So it's going to be a tricky one going forward and trying to link the Serie A inside of this, because without those Serie A players, it probably won't work. And I do actually have in goalkeeper Szczesny. So I do actually have chemistry there, and I think with three players obviously linking together, it might work that way. But until then, this is currently my team, and I could, again, sell Kimmich, go forward with the coins that I can go with that, and then see if I can possibly look into other choices. But it is possibly getting rid of the icons. And I got to say, Thierry Henry, he is a weird fella, like a weird geezer. He's so good, weirdly. The one thing I found was his low-driven shots were insanely overpowered. If you ever get this guy or like build him or whatever, do him through the SBC and whatever, definitely give him a go with his low-driven shots. His low-driven shots are just broken, and players like Van der Sar or like Courtois were not able to deal with his low-driven shots. They just went inside the back of the net, and it was just broken. So I definitely think if you get a chance of that, give that a go. And not much else really to say except from I just hope next weekend the gameplay is so much more better. I definitely find that the gameplay was very, very meh. Defensively as well, as I'm finding defending not half bad, but with a guy with 99 pace, well, now 99 pace with an anchor on him, I was expecting a lot more. I really thought I was really expecting a lot more from this guy, but defensively, meh. And custom tactics on them specifically as well was they were on balance. They were on balance and mixed attack and everything, and they barely went up the pitch, and that surprised me because I told Kimmich and Xabi Alonso to stay back. They would go forward. Don't get me wrong. There were moments they'll go forward, but it was not consistently enough. And possibly I might look into overloading in the attack and do it that way. But that is also one way of getting prone to counter-attacking, and that's one thing I'll have to look into as well. But other than that, I thought that was a good weekend. We got 11 wins, and I think I got to like 11 wins with three matches loss, which was not half bad. So I just gave the rest of the wins away, and I'll say that's like a lot more positive going, but I didn't like the way that everything was just playing sometimes with the defense. If I wanted to play to my midfield, it wouldn't. It would play to my striker instead. So certain things like that, I was finding a lot of, and I cannot wait until the new FIFA, where they actually hopefully fix these problems and they aren't restricted to this game being what it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed this talk video. I've been planning to do a lot of these in the future, just because FIFA's like coming towards its end now. Like when team season comes out, you know it's coming towards its end, and like from this point on, kind of like towards the end, they'll just release ridiculous cards. Like I wouldn't be surprised if, I don't know, some Trippier gets like a 99 rated card, or Varane gets a 99 rated card because people are voting for him to get a 99 rated card. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, do subscribe, and yeah, see you next time.